All right, this is something I should be doing every once in a while, so I decided to, because what's going on right now with the channel, it's kind of important to do. So we're gonna look at some movie stuff today. I'm upstairs, which means that the internet is going to be of iffy quality. We'll see how that goes. This is going to be one of those videos where I basically let you guys know some things that are going on with the channel right now. There's some pretty serious things that are affecting the channel. And we're going to look around at some stuff that I got upstairs. You're going to see some stuff that you don't see normally. So we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff today. But I think the best place to start is an apology. Actually, over the last few days, I've been trying to get some pre-tape stuff that I've been working on and editing uploaded onto both my regular channel and my Patreon channel. That has not happened. There's a reason for that. Hey, there's Amy. Welcome, man. And the reason is basically that right now the channel is going through some tech issues behind the scenes. I've been in contact with YouTube support several times, and right now there is and anybody that's ever worked in IT is going to understand this. Hey there, George. There's an e-ticket going out. So they are working. I went to upload a video that I worked really hard on. It took a few days to do, and unfortunately, it's stuck at 97%. And at the 97%, nothing else is happening for that video, and it's stopping other pre-tape videos from being loaded. What exactly does that mean for me? That means that it cuts into to new videos coming out, which cuts into stuff going on Patreon, which cuts into unfortunately the revenue, and it also cuts into the enjoyment. So you guys don't get to see the videos that I've been doing aside from the lives. The lives are the only ones that I can do right now. So I want to thank everybody that's come in for the lives. The Vinegar Cinnamon really did really well. I did one with Malcolm, and it's a feature on StreamYard. I have no idea how it works, Sean. I'm going to guess that because I got my hand like this. Let me see. Because I got my hand like this, that every once in a while, like a thumbs up thing comes up. I'm not sure. It's gestures. I'm not sure if it's a YouTube thing or StreamYard thing. It's one of them. But I don't know what the gestures are. I got to look them up. That being said, it's going to take a few days. They said it could take up to a week or two. So most of my videos are going to be live streams. A lot of aside from like donation stuff, most of the money that I make are off my pre-tapes. So that is a bit of an issue. If you do want to support channel around the world, I will ask that you please do it through this link right here. Unfortunately, when it goes through the other links, they take around 35 to 40%. What do I mean? I had a $100 donation that came out to $67, and that ended up meaning I could not use that donation until it hits on another month. So that's the way that happens there. Anyway, that's the behind the scenes stuff. Just to let you know, if you're looking at like the pre-tape stuff that we're doing, if you're kind of concerned or confused with what's going on, that's the reason. It's just we can't do it right now, and we're working. 5 Eastern Standard Time. I haven't gotten to bed yet. Have a good night, Alan, man. It is 10:46 here. I've been up since 5, and I went downstairs, got the cats fed, did my made coffee for my better half for me, and we eventually around 6 a.m. I woke her up. I would love to talk anime. I'm a big anime fan. Malcolm is a big anime fan on here too. So what I'd like to do, and I don't know if my better half will ever do this, but it would have to be on my Patreon. And I'll tell you why, Sean. And you're on my Patreon now, so you understand. Is that I want to get my better half onto a video to talk about anime. And it would be nice to get Malcolm on there, get all of us on there talking about it together. Here's the problem. I'm not going to subject my better half to in a live stream in a regular YouTube. You've seen how people can get kind of trolly and gross, right? So when I put her on the channel, then that's through Patreon. And so yes, you definitely have anime talk on here. I'm a geek all of all types. So because my anime talk is going to be like relegated to things like Dragon Ball Z and Robotech and Astro Boy and maybe some Mazinger and stuff like that, right? Some Goldorak, Battle of the Planets, that type of thing. But and maybe a bit of Death Note, like for talk more modern stuff. But Hind grew up with anime. Like in Morocco, that was like where I got Saturday morning cartoons along the lines of Super Friends and Smurfs and stuff like that. Uh, and whatever Hanna-Barbera thing was coming on or Scooby-Doo thing was coming on at the time. Here in Morocco, like they like got like they had a Evangeline. The she could discuss that. They had like they got anime instead. So they got like I think it was a Club Juliet. I think or something like that was called, and it was like a 4 or 5 hour block of like anime and like that type of ilk, and like really kind of like some deep cut animes as well. So she's grown up with a lot of that stuff. Uh, but we'll I definitely do want to have a have some conversations on that as well. I initially had planned to do this as just as a streaming on my just when I'm playing the video game. But my better half's working from home today, so she's downstairs. She's in meetings. So I thought we'd have some fun up here. I can go around. I can look. I can bring over like some releases. I can show you some stuff. Like if I was to lean over here, for instance, and just randomly pick something out of my upstairs like shelf. This is like the guest room, by the way. So here's the Video Nasties, the Draconian Days Part 2, which by the way is an amazing set, and I would definitely recommend everybody pick up. It's got the Section 3 list of trailer tapes on 2 and 3. See, these are the things that you see when you come to videos that you don't expect. I absolutely love all the posters and artwork done here. Only collect top of door. Well, that's the thing. I think that one thing that you will find out quickly about me, Sean, is that I do love my horror, but if you watch my channel for all, it's not all I talk about. It's because I have so many different so much different tastes when it comes to this stuff. I'm right now working on the it's an older school thing, but it's like the Columbia Classics Volume 4, and man, that's gonna be good. And I'm doing like an overview of that, and I'm gonna probably bring Malcolm in for Columbia Classics Volume 4 as well, because that was he said getting Columbia Classics Volume 4. Yeah, that's true. It's arriving today. It is really good. Malcolm's seen it. I've seen it. It's a pretty exciting site, man. But yeah, I want to branch out. The only thing that has stopped me more from branching out is that like when I talk called comics, called video games, that type of stuff. I did a reaction video on Near Mint Conditions top 20, the top 20 reprint poll, and I was really proud of that video, and it got almost no views. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, that's the thing that happens, Sean, is we get boxed in. Um, and we try, we want to and try to talk about other things, but sometimes when we do it, we feel like we get chastised for moving outside of our box. But it has to happen. I mean, if I came on to YouTube today and I realized that Matt Pat is moving away, like he's gone away from the theory channels. It was his last day today for all the theory channels. And it got me to thinking, Matt Pat's been on YouTube for 13 years, one more year than me. And I'm like, have I utilized YouTube as to the best of my ability? The answer is no. Like I should have more viewers than I have right now. But that's on me. But I want your guys' thoughts on what you think, what you want to see, what you hope to see on my channel. Obviously, I did the 25 greatest Vinegar Syndrome releases yesterday, and excuse me, sweetie, and that was a successful video. I got to talk about a lot of different stuff. I got to come in here. I got people come in that normally don't, and I really quickly, like, I had like around like 50 people at one point coming in to that video, which may not seem like a lot to some people, but for me, it was quite a bit. And I used to normally, when I started these streams, and nobody else is doing this, by the way, that was normal. I'd get like 30, 40 odd people that would come into a stream. And it was good because it helped out when it comes to you know, to the revenue, so I can upgrade my mic so I can just upgrade my stream here, all that type of stuff. Um, I mean, I'm not great with the Flash YouTube shorts. YouTube shorts are really hard for me. Um, like I've done a couple of shorts like related to the channel. Like I've like 10 Criterion releases, 10 Slasher Classics one did the best. Maybe I need a catchphrase too. I need like, it's not just a theory. No, it's um but I used to have them like time for tea, right? Remember that? I had the time for tea thing, which maybe maybe it's time to go back to using my catchphrase. Um but it's really rough when you're trying to figure that out. Video stream sales streams usually get the most traffic. Yeah, it's kind of, so the way that it started is that it was Criterion sales streams that would used to get the most traffic. And Vinegar Syndrome has kind of become like its own beast. It, like, as the collector market has shifted, and it's moved into that, which was great for me, like initially, because I was the guy, right? You know, I was the guy that talked to this weird stuff. When everybody else was talking about Criterion and the latest releases and going to their local stores and picking up, I don't know, Superman and Batman, I was talking about these weird ass films. Um, but eventually, everybody started talking about it, and it diluted the market. And I think that's the thing. I like to talk about Vinegar Syndrome, but I worry that uh, I, I I worry about getting lost in the shuffle sometimes, man. I'm literally like, this is how I got a lot of my start. But there's so many different stuff that I could talk about. Like right behind me, right there is a massive amount of like graphic novels and comics and stuff like that. But I don't talk about. There is a ton of like TV shows. If you look behind me right there, you'll see a whole bunch of like from Dexter to like my Stega plugin from At Games, to a whole bunch of like shows from like Law and Order to Canon to like CSI New York, which have a complete series of The Secret Agent Man, which came on there. I want to do a movie out and about. So once I eventually get to London, where we plan to do some out and abouts there. So you can expect to see that. Hopefully, if if Malcolm's around and I'm busy at the time, maybe I can get Malcolm into at least one of the out and abouts. That'll be fun to do, because we do streams on here together. I'm not sure if I have any other like friends over in London area that will be up for that, but that's always that. I got to tag more with the companies. That's my thing. Got to tag them with companies. That's actually a good idea. I need an agent. I do have like sort of, but I need like a channel agent as opposed to right now where I just work with different agents when it comes to different things. That's the rough part, you know. Like I utilize through journalism means as opposed to like regular means. Just randomly picking stuff up, by the way. Um, this is my youth, right here, guys. So this lady here, um, Miss Mitson was my big crush, my dream girl all throughout high school. Um, Stacy Mitson played Caitlin on Degrassi High, Degrassi Junior High, and I think she played Lisa on Kids Degrassi Street. It's a while back, but I have all the original Degrassi sets, not the next generation, but the original sets. There's three of them all together. I'm just gonna randomly start pulling that stuff so that you got to stay if you want to figure out what's coming up next, because even I don't know. I would like to even win the national lotto. Oh, there we go. This is why there's no lotto here. So that's why I have to do my shilling. George, that's why I always. This is why. Bam. Here we go. That's as close to a lot as I'm gonna get. Working hard, man. Um, but it's fun. I mean, like the Vinegar Syndrome video was a lot of fun talking about the controversy when it came to the Tubi thing with Malcolm was a ton of fun. I would love to reach out and speak to some people. There's a few actors that I like to chat with. Um, I would love to chat with Lynn Griffin from Black Christmas, and it would be amazing to maybe to reach out and maybe talk to somebody like a Tiffany Shepis or Rolf Kaninsky. Uh, those are people that I like to have like on the channel. I've been I've been blessed and I've had like Doug Bradley, I've had Harry Manfredini, um, I've had like a bunch of like people on the channel, like when I did the Exorcist video, and I'm surprised that video honestly should have been better because I'm proud of that video, and we had a lot of big people on that during that interview, and I think it's a really good interview. I think it stands above a lot of interviews because I don't just ask about like Pinhead. I don't talk about like just that stuff. I talk about the stuff that the different things, so that we get a more. I try to whenever I do anything, when I ever do an interview, whenever like a host on the channel, or whenever I have somebody on here, I try not to just have them like play the hits. So I actually feel more comfortable and talk about stuff they like to talk about. Try and get some from Shout Factor, interview them, give them their controversial stand within the collector community. I know they never do interviews. They would put me on the map, but it would be hard, but I would love to do that. Aside from interviewing people, is there anything that you guys would like to see? Like, I know I'm doing the collection videos, and I hope you guys are liking those. I put a lot of work into those videos. A lot more research are going into the collection videos now, so it's not just me showing a collection. It's me like researching stuff and looking back and rewatching movies before I do it, which has been a ton more work. So when you see me do like a Vinegar Syndrome collection video with a massive amount of videos, like movies in that collection, I'm not just doing a Vinegar Syndrome collection video. Like, I would love to tell you that that's just what I'm doing. No, but I'm doing research for like the history of Vinegar Syndrome. I'm watching like key films that I'm going to be showing the collection. And so there's so much that goes on. And more recently, I've done a couple more. Hopefully, they get up on it one of these days. Called comics videos, where what we've decided to do is what I've decided to do basically is I've shot a lot of B-roll footage. So much like what you would normally see, you'll get to see like kind of a different view. Like you'll hear me talk, but then we'll shoot to footage where you actually kind of see, you get a better look at the books and the omnibuses and different pages, and so let me just text. I'll be right back. Booyah. I'm back. Hey, Ragnar, welcome, man. Why are you in there? See, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. I'm just trying to get like the grasp on the time frames in that too. I got to get like I'm gonna put like a thing on my Mac here, where I'll have the different like time zones like put up online here. Um, I want to do more. I would like to do. If you guys, what TV? There's literally no TV turned on in this house. Turn the TV down. There's no TV on. It is tough. Like you've got to go with you got to like move towards. You've got to do the list videos. Like let's be honest. Like some channels, Miss Mojo and whatever, they just that's what they do, and obviously it doesn't get played out because they still do them. But but you have to go at them in unique and different ways. I hadn't done a when I did the greatest list video uh then yesterday. That really was my girl. Okay, these are the greatest releases. This is what I'm doing. I've never done this before. I'm gonna just this is gonna be my kind of my opinion on it. But for me, unless other than shutting down, like, and I've thought about it. I thought about retiring, um, several times actually over the last year specifically. I'm in my 12th year on YouTube. That's a long time to do this, be like churning out doing content, and to be going. I've done over 3,000 videos on YouTube, and hopefully, at least some of them are good, right? Mm. See that, and that's the thing. Like for me, I prefer to go back to the older stuff as opposed to what I got last week. I really think that okay. So there's this thing on YouTube, and if you're a YouTuber, you're probably going to understand this. If you're not, then Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I did not know about it, man. But why not? Why not? It's a payday for both of them. I'm a bigger Mike Tyson fan, I guess, than a Jake Paul fan, but we'll see. Um, I find that it's okay. This is where that we use behind the scenes on YouTube a lot. You've probably heard it. It's called evergreen, and what that means is when you're making a video, you're hoping for a video that stands the test of time. Now, if you're doing stuff where you're talking about just the most recent release and what's came out this week, then you've got to sort of like supplement that because if you don't, then it dates itself right away. And it's wonderful if somebody's going back to look for that specific release down the road. But because there's some channels that do it well. Midlife Media does it really well, actually. I like Midlife Media. There's differences. But you have to do it so that you have videos that are not going to be dated by next week. Because you may get a lot of views within that like first 24 to 48 hours, because that's when you get your most views most of the time for this type of stuff. But my like the videos that get the most views for me are often not what you'd expect. Like I'll get somewhere they'll have views like right out of the gate. So I'll give you sort of I'll give you an example. So let me go to my channel, for instance. And let's see if they'll let me do it. Oops, not what I want to do. I want to filter this here. I want to see if the filtering thing works on this one right now. There we go. So my most popular video of all time is Arrow Films versus Scream Factory. I did it 9 years ago, and it's like gotten over 11,000 views. Greetings, happy it's standing too. Watching guys spend $1,000 a month on physical media and then get $1,000 from physical stuff for free. I mean, though, that's the thing. I'm not sure if that's not so much agreed. Here's the thing. I've tried to, and I hope I've been successful in doing this, because I get a few things from a few different companies. Not a lot. I'm not one of the YouTubers that's getting a lot of stuff. And you know what I get because I tell you right away. But most of the stuff that you see in my collection is stuff I bought, right? But here's the thing. When it comes to when it comes to this, I want to make sure that I'm not wanting to. I want to spawn people to be excited about films and media. I want people to be excited about this stuff. But I don't want to spawn a whole like group of collectors as much as I would love to get a group of people that are curating their what they're getting. I worry sometimes when I do sale videos that it like, and I try to do them so because it gives people the chance to get movies when it comes to that they want. And I get them at the right price because not everybody can afford to buy everything, and nor should you feel that like that weight upon you. What's important? The most important thing is that you enjoy what you get, and you don't let things like FOMO, fear of missing out, be something that that really just that overtakes you. Because when you do, then you find you're buying a lot, maybe too much, and you're not being able to get around to it. So when I look at the stuff in my collection, and I've got a fairly large collection, um, but it's stuff I watch. It's stuff that I watch, and I get overwhelmed when I'm like, okay, there's certain things I got to get around to. There's certain movies that I still haven't get around to, and I have I have the I have merch too, but hopefully I try to make my own merch. um, but I would say wait for new merch. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it really depends. Like I can't because it's the based upon the person, right? Um, and what is too much to a certain person. If you're watching everything that you're getting, you're watching like 3 or 4 movies a day, and you're enjoying these movies, and you're great with stuff like that. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. But if you're starting to feel overwhelmed, and you find that you're not making you're taking money out of your you know what you would get to eat food or pay rent or do something like that, so that you can keep up with the Joneses. uh that's an issue, and that's an issue that I don't want to feed in. My uh the love of cinema is the key to this right here, is that buy the stuff you love and watch the stuff you buy. That's what matters. Um, I own over 10,000 films. Thank you, Ragnar. it's uh, it's it, and those movies, and I'm older, so I am. I'm gonna be 53 this year. Like I don't mind saying same age. I'm gonna be 53 at the end of March. Um, what does that mean? Well, I grew up in the VHS, the CED era, lot before like DVD and all this came around. I rented movies all the time. So when I buy movies now, I'm usually buying a lot of things that I've seen. Yeah, so I'm usually buying a lot of things that I've already seen. I'm like supplementing stuff and getting stuff, putting stuff into my collection that I'm going to want to watch, and I'm going to want to watch like years later. Um, Trust me, 10,000 is not a lot when it comes to like, there's some YouTubers or some like collectors that have massive more than me. Like you only see a portion of my videos, my movies here. Like I have things, we have like her mother, like we have this farm, it's olive farm, and a lot of my collections over there as well. Some of my earlier videos you were able to see a lot more. Uh, but that's the key. I want you to enjoy this. I never want you to come into my channel and see that I've got something, or that there's a sale coming on, or there's not a sale. There's being something being released, feeling that you got to get it, or if you don't have the 4K edition of it, then you don't have a good edition of it. Like don't like never feel like that, or never feel like, okay, let's just say like, okay, I got what I got. Let's say you've got 50 movies or 100 movies, whatever your collection is. It doesn't matter. It's your collection, uh, and it's not inferior or less important than anybody else's collection, because you have gotten the stuff that you want for you, and the stuff that makes and pleases you right now. So if you decided to get, like, you live in an apartment, for instance, and you have like a small movie shelf, and I've been this person, and you have like maybe like 25 or 30 movies on there, and those are movies that you like, and you go back to and you rewatch, and you're slowly like building up exactly what you want. That's, you're doing it right. If you're in an apartment and you have like walls of films and you're not watching any of them, but you're watching YouTubers that are going out there and they're showing you like, oh, look, this is new and this is fancy and you got to get this and this is limited and all this type of stuff, and look at all these posters, and you've got like if you've got a bunch of posters in your collection, and they're never going to go on any wall anywhere because you just can't put them there, and you're probably not going to get around to those releases, then that can be an issue. Um, and I don't mean that in a bad or negative way. People have like, just like, I've had like a bunch of people just log off right now when I just as I said that. But that's what I'm trying to do. Is just make it so you enjoy yourself. That when you come in here, we talk about movies, we talk about what we got and stuff like that, and we don't have to feel bad we bought a lot of movies. We don't have to feel bad if we didn't buy a lot of movies. We just be excited about what we got. And that's the thing. However you collect should be how you want to collect. Nobody should tell you that you're doing it wrong. That's the key. That's the key for me. Is that this excites me. Like here, I'm wearing a Clockwork Orange shirt today. I love this movie, and it's a small set. This cost me under $20. Had like 2001 Space Size. I have like, my better half's a massive fan of this one. We got the 4K this one for Christmas from my dad actually one year. Clockwork Orange and The Shining, and having there's fancy versions of these movies out there. There's a fancier 4K of Clockwork Orange. There's a 4K of The Shining, which I would love to have, but at the end of the day, if I have this, I have the films, right? And I get jealous from time to time when I miss out on something. It's you're human, of course. Everybody does. I do. Like on a regular basis, Sean. Like I do. There's so much stuff here. Like I do this. I'm lucky enough. I'm blessed enough that I have had the ability to buy, not to buy, often buy over what what I what I would have been able to do years ago. Um, I've been able to go out there and reach out and speak to a couple different companies. Speak to Mill Creek, and I was a massive Ultraman fan. And I got like involved with Mill Creek around the time they started doing their Ultraman stuff. And I'm like, this is great. I would 100% bought these, but now I can actually focus more money towards other parts, the other things that I want, and get those releases. And then I ended up buying some anyway because I wanted to get like some of the steelbook stuff and as well. Um, a lot of philanthropy. People hyping it up, making it sell on the weekend. Hype it up, sells quick. It's I have certain issues with certain limited things. Um, and I've talked about me and Malcolm talked about it off here actually. Is that Malcolm buys a bunch of stuff, but he buys stuff that he likes. He buys stuff that he watches. So you can see Malcolm with a bunch of releases, but he's like also Malcolm's watching a lot of those movies. Um, and if you have the ability and the time to watch those films, that's fantastic. That's great. Because nobody should shame anybody for the way that they collect or the amount their numbers. It's not a numbers game. Um, it's really overwhelming. It's overwhelming for me. I've been in this for a few years, Sean, and I find that I can't get everything, and sometimes I'll have people who come on and they'll ask me, "Do you have every Vinegar Syndrome release? Why are you missing this one? Why don't you have this release? Why don't you have some of the newer releases?" I did like my top 25, and people were wondering, "Well, why don't you have this on your list?" Or how come you don't have this release? Or don't you like Vinegar Syndrome because you don't have a lot of these newer releases? Like, not taking into consideration, one, I live in a different country where physical media is not a thing, and that I can normally only buy physical media twice a year. Um, so when I was in Canada, it was easy. When the Al Absent set came out, like the second it came out, yeah, I said, I really want to have that set, but it's really expensive. And Hin looked and she said, "Is this something that you're really gonna want? You're really gonna watch?" And I said, "Well, it's Al Amson. This is me. What do you think?" And she said, "Okay, well, let's get it." Right. So there was no question about it. We got it. And I'm sure if I'd been in Canada when the Emmanuel set came out, the same thing would have happened. I don't have that set yet because of the fact that things have changed for me, and I'm kind of glad that it has because it's let me sit back and really reevaluate when I'm collecting, like what's important to me. So when I go back to Canada and I'm picking up stuff that I want, I see it through different eyes because I know it's going to be a while since I get something else. And you would think, oh, okay, so you're going to grab everything, right? Because you want to get as much as you can and get back there and stuff. And I do. I want to grab as much as I can relatively, uh, because I don't want to just grab things just to grab it because it's limited or because I feel like I missed out on it or the slipcase may not be there when I go back next time. Um, that's the thing. Um, when I went to like there's a bunch of like great 88 films releases coming out for like some of the Jackie Chan stuff, and some of them I'll definitely pick up. But there's other things like To Kill with Intrigue that they're getting big releases, and it's not one of his better films. Like in my opinion, it's not one of his better films. But I got the Shout Factory Jackie Chan Volume One collection, which was a really great way and fairly inexpensive considering to get like a whole ton of Jackie Chan films for one price. Now I could have waited and got all of them like on 4K with posters and a booklet from 88 Films, but I didn't need to have every one of them like that. As long as I got the movies and there's features on every one of them anyway, and what I want are the movies and the features. I want to be able to watch the movies and enjoy them, and if the quality's good, and the features are quality features, then I don't need to, having a hard box or a poster is not going to make the difference in whether I enjoy that film. It also saves some like space in my library as well. And I live in a condo, so real estate space for my films is something that I think heavily about. I think it must be when I do like the thumbs up type thing. That must be what's doing this. Keep this in mind, even though everything's limited, everything gets re-released. I mean everything. Yeah, and it's the thing. Like, let's look at one of the big releases that Vinegar Syndrome put out a few years back. So remember Rad. So Rad is this Hal Needham like movie about Thank you so much, George. um, is this? Are you, I kind of think you have a crush on Malcolm. I just got that. The Malcolm's done some stuff today. Actually, we're supposed to contact later on, but he but hopefully, fingers crossed. There's some stuff that he's working on that hopefully goes really well outside of like YouTube and movies and stuff like that. Well, that place aside. Um, but where was I at again? I totally forgot. Anybody help me? Help me. About Killer Clowns already owns Killer Clowns. I mean, I understand. I mean, if you're a massive fan of this and you want like that, have that edition and you want those features, I get it. I mean, like because I would be a hypocrite. Because here's the thing, I have the Blu-ray like box set, like the big box set of the Halloween series. I have the 4Ks hard boxes of the Halloween series as well, and I bought the 4K steelbook tin of the David Gordon Green series because I'm going to put it out there. I am the David Gordon Green like Halloween fan. I am the guy. So I take personal onus of that of the trilogy and being the ultimate fan of it. I'm hardcore Halloween. I really am. Corey all the way, man. Malcolm's a great personality. Like me and Malcolm are friends off of here. And like I've thought really hard before I always do. I think really hard before I bring anybody onto the channel to work with, because not always the easiest thing to do, and you never know how it's going to fit. That's the thing. Yeah, there's always eBay, and there's always stuff, and there's Facebook Marketplace now, right? And there's lots of different ways to get things. Never feel that you missed out. You missed out forever. Oh, I was talking about Rad. So Rad was this massive release, and basically it sold like crazy. Like the slipcase edition went really, really quickly. The only I'm the YouTube guy for it. I'm the YouTube guy for the DGG Halloween trilogy. Everybody's got to have their lanes, right? George. So people got really upset, like, okay, they only had so many copies of it, they couldn't put it out anymore. Then all of a sudden, there's digital copies of it coming out. People you're able to buy it digitally on iTunes, and some people bought digital copies of Rad because it's sold out, right? But then, like, lo and behold, announcement comes out. Mill Creek is putting out Rad, not a 4K, but a Blu-ray, a really damn good Blu-ray of Rad. But they're not just putting out a Blu-ray of Rad; they're putting out the Blu-ray of Rad with a Mondo steelbook. And for those that don't collect steelbooks, I'm doing a steelbook collection, steelbook video really soon, because steelbooks are really starting to take over. Planet CHH did a video recently on Vestron steelbooks, which is really interesting. I recommend you check that out. Yeah, Mondo was the king of creating steelbooks. Their steelbooks were the most highly sought after steelbooks for steelbook collectors. And Mill Creek, which has made a ton of like improvements in their company over the years, is suddenly bringing out Rad, which was a Vinegar Syndrome like limited edition, like timed exclusive. And they're not only bringing it out, but they're bringing it with a Mondo steelbook. And like, if you're a collector of all that, and you just see like just the way that things go together, it's amazing. So anytime you feel you've missed out, there's all this stuff. Like, how many like Vinegar Syndrome releases have gone to Mill Creek? Sorry, Mill Creek. I've gone to MVD. How many times did I missed out on Action USA? I can't get Action USA. Damn, I missed out on Jack Frost. I can't get Jack Frost. I actually thought about that Uh, um, that was a thought actually. I thought I'd be doing something behind the scenes. I live in Morocco, and there's a film festival here. We have a film festival here. My oldest daughter is she wants to be a filmmaker. She works at a bank, and she was part of she does a whole lot of like film work, and like like any film classes she can take, she takes, and uh, to the point where she be she won the chance to make a short film, and that short film was shown at a festival in Halifax actually. So on the big screen, so you got to see people reacting to her film on the big screen. I would like to make something eventually, but it takes time and effort and money and stuff like that, and I have to have like a clear vision of what I want to make. And I don't know if I want to make um, something along the lines of fiction, or if I want to make something along the lines of documentary. But I would like to make something. I think anybody that's a lot of people come on here and spend on here for years, like uh, that's what we that's what we look towards. There's a reason, like say when I mentioned, like you mentioned, like Malcolm on there earlier. There's a reason that like we chat offline and stuff like that. Is because it's rare, but you meet people on here. I talk to George offline. I talk to Malcolm off here. Like we make connections, and it's great. I like to think of this as a place where people can come back and relax and talk movies and just enjoy stuff. And maybe we'll talk video games, or maybe we'll be talking comics one day. But and lately, you've seen some board game stuff coming in there as well, and I'm trying to upgrade my stuff. Unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, for those that never saw that, uh, like those villains involved. I can't help it, man. I can't help it. It's my thing. It's my jam, man. It's my jam. We like each other because in spite of our faults. But it was so boring if I like the same movies. Like wouldn't that be like the most like dronely horrible thing? Like I used to get like upset when I was younger. I'd be upset when people people say, "Well, I like the Rob Zombie Halloweens," right? Like, how can you like the Rob Zombie Halloweens? What a thing for me to say. Okay, well, let me tell you what you should like. No, no. I mean, we all gotta like her. Like, no, I did like a whole Halloween retrospective on Halloween this year. There's me and Malcolm, my dad were there, and we just went through all of them. And I had to fight, man. It was an uphill battle. Like Malcolm and my dad were really pushing against me. So for me to get my points on, like my positive points on some of those films, it was hard. Just watch those videos, trust me. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing it, and I want to sincerely say this, like right now, um, like thank you guys. Like you don't have to come in and spend your time with me, but you do. Um, you know, I I'm not the biggest YouTuber, obviously. Oh, I don't have the fanciest, most flashy equipment, and I just try to I slowly upgrade things as I can, and as I can afford it and stuff like that. Um, but it means a lot to me. I live in an area, and I live in a place where I don't have a lot of people that are into the stuff that I'm in. So, and I really appreciate that, man. Like you guys inspire me, and that's not just words. It's true. Because the thing is that we have this group here, and it's amazing to be able to talk about this stuff because in a lot of our lives, a lot of people don't understand what we like, right? Um, I not normally like. Here's the thing. Here we go. Pull out another release, right? Let's do that. Let's just say I want to talk Camp Blood. Like the original Camp Blood trilogy, not the first three at least. I can do that. And I can come in here. I can make a live video. We can do that. I've actually thought about like watching these on here, but by the way, I want to do like a Patreon watch videos. Would anybody be interested in like watch videos, like we're watching a movie, watching stuff like that? I know I've spoken with Malcolm. We're going to be doing the wrestling fans on here, we're going to be doing like a classic wrestling pay per view, watch and class and some reviews as well. But yeah, like just to watch some films on here, watch some different things with the. It'll be a fun thing to do. The Rad Steelbook is, and I'm glad it's being re-released. So there's a perfect example of that. So Ragnar, that Rad Steelbook went out for a while, right? So did the Street Fighter Steelbook. It came in, it was fantastic. Everybody loved it. Got rave reviews, and then was gone. And now, what's happening right now? Those steelbooks are coming back. And in a large part, what's happening is that Walmart is really focusing on the steelbook market. It's put like incentives out there for companies to invest in making steelbook editions of films. So you're seeing Vestron steelbook editions of films. If you're in the United States, you're going into your local Walmart and you're seeing steelbook sections into a lot of Walmarts, and they're kind of really starting to come in. I got to get an Air 4444. I don't have any of the releases, I'm not sure about that first one, but Run Kill One sounds good. The first one makes me wince. So that's becoming a thing. And as somebody that like follows like the marketplace and trends and stuff like that, and I'm lucky enough to be able to speak with people that behind the scenes, it's something to keep an eye on. So if you were a steelbook fan back in the day and you're like, oh, nobody talks about my steelbooks anymore, nobody, oh, it's a bygone thing. It's on its way back, and in a big way. Disney in conjunction with Walmart have really kind of gone hard into the steelbook. I won't go too much into it now, but let's just say if you like steelbooks, you're in for like a hell of a time. Right now on Walmart, if you go to their United States website, you should find over 500 steelbooks. I'm not joking. But there you go. That's one of the things, like the crazy behind the scenes stuff that we talk about. It's the 100th year of Columbia Pictures. Expect to see some videos talking about that. As a fan of movies and a fan of the classic cinema and stuff like that, Columbia, Classics Volume 4, of course, that's going to get a look, but I want to do a video focusing on some of those releases, not just the releases that are here. I don't know. I would not be able to do a streaming service. Like, I don't have that. There's a certain amount. You have to have the time and the technology to do it. What I started to do, and a lot of people don't know this, is, I think it was like probably 8 or 9 years in my run on YouTube. I had planned to make these, like, when I was in Canada. It's not logistically possible now. I had made kind of a sort of a best of Call to Cinema, like DVDs. Like, I did it. I had actually filmed extra reviews and extra like videos and essays and stuff. I put it onto a DVD, menu and all that type of stuff. And I was gonna like send it out to patrons and put it in my merch store. But I moved to Morocco and I didn't do that. So there's a little behind the scenes peek at like the stuff that goes on behind here. I don't do a lot with my merchandise, and I haven't updated it in like over 2 years. So I really don't expect people to go and actually buy stuff on that right now. I'm still very, I'm humbled by the fact that I've been able to hopefully inspire people to go on and do their own things, which makes me excited when I hear about people like they're going on a website, they're writing up some stuff, they're doing a YouTube channel. They're showing the movies on Instagram, stuff like that. They weren't doing it before, and they're doing it now. You would definitely buy those, man. I wish I still had them. I hope you're having a good breakfast, and hopefully there's good news today. So my fingers are crossed for you, man. Fingers are crossed for you. See, Malcolm gets up at a regular, normal time. As opposed to me, who gets up at like 5 a.m. and starts his day. And it's not like on a one day, like every day. Like, it's gotten to the point now, like weekends where you can sleep in. Like if I sleep in on a weekend, it's 5:30. Regular oatmeal, or are you having like, or we're having some like cinnamon, like, or some apple cinnamon oatmeal, because apple cinnamon is the bomb, Malcolm. That's what you want. You want the apple cinnamon. I used to be a big oatmeal person. We don't have oatmeal so much here. As we have fresh air. Yep. You still need cinnamon, Malcolm. I'm just saying it. Just putting it right out there. There best be some cinnamon in that oatmeal, dude. Who's a cinnamon? Who's a cinnamon? We showed it on the stream on the yesterday. A birthday shout out to my my sister-in-law's Bahia, whose birthday is today. So happy birthday, Bahia! And feel free to shout out happy birthday to Bahia in this stream if you want to. Donna, see, she's the goat, man. You got a good one. She knows. She knows. Donna's also an anime, guys. So she's one of the cool ones. So that we've lucked out. We've got cool better halves, much cooler than us. Like, trust us. If our better halves was we're doing like we're doing channels that they'd be much more successful than us because they're way cooler than we are. But thank you guys. A lot of birthdays in March now. I used to be the only birthday in March when I was in Canada. So it's like my birthday, I'd have like this birthday month type thing. Best Buy's death is a steelbook resurgence. I think that's what's causing it. Like Best Buy's like death is what's causing the steelbook resurgence. It's hard. I mean, like we get into it, but it's hard to understand that sometimes our excitement doesn't always, isn't the same as our better half's excitement when it comes to stuff like this. And it's much harder for girls on these here channels. It really is. And just troll wise stuff like that. So I understand. That's why when I have my better half on, Malcolm, I expand the Patreon wall. Because we chose this life. It's like a gunslinger, right? It's like a gunslinger, right? If you choose, yes, that's creepy, man. If you choose that, like to go there and you're in the Old West, right? And you win a shootout. you get into you do one in one of those shootouts. You and that's the way you go. You choose that, right? You choose that life. But your spouse doesn't. So Steelbook Resurgence was inevitable. The Halloween David Gordon Green trilogy Halloween set is beautiful. It's a beautiful Steelbook set. They're having a female collector, YouTube collectors. There are still some, not as much as there used to be, and it's litter, and it really is. Is if you're the reason you're thinking is the reason. I've seen people come and go, and some of them move over to different types of YouTube as well. Because I find that some of that did like movies will move over to things like Book Talk or something like that. But just because, and it tends to be a less. I hate to use the word like I'm not getting into like toxic thing, but yeah, it gets to that, right? No, there's not out there. That's the thing. Like, unfortunately, of course, who wouldn't? I wish I was a pretty, I'll be a pretty girl. Here you go. But no, of course you would. But the issue is the same thing. You ever gone to a comics shop? Any kind of a comic guy? So I'm a comic person, and I spend a lot of times in in comic stores and stuff like that. So I been in there when in the earlier days when like a girl walk in and she looked for something, she could buy something with it, and if she bought something that wasn't Archie or Shoho related, if she went to like get some like manga or maybe some Frank Miller or Jonathan Hickman more nowadays, you want to go on that. Like some people in some places, they could get pretty like aggressive, like going up to like not like hitting on, but also like just questioning, like, yeah, do you? Oh, I see you're wearing a Batman T-shirt, but do you really read Batman? Shake off, man. Like, leave people alone. Let people enjoy their stuff. Uh, that's the thing here. Like, you come on here, and like for some of you guys here, like I don't know if you're male or female, and it doesn't matter, because like names aren't always, Sean. Sean actually can actually be. It could be either, right? I know Sean's that are guys, I know Sean's that are girls. I know which you are, but doesn't again. Um, there's a great thing about the anonymity of coming on and being able to talk, not have to worry about people bothering you. And hopefully you get a bit of that in here. I've had people on my channel. I'll have more people on like in live videos. To because I wanted to get like my brother-in-law on, want to get like my sister-in-law on the channel and talk about certain things, movies, because I'm going to be eventually I'm going to review every film in my collection. And do like, but I don't do them on my own, just all of them on my own. I want to have like guests in where they can actually be sitting down with me, like here, and like discussing our thoughts on a film. And for those, I'll probably like, unless it's a special one, I'll probably like pre-tape a bunch of those. And for some of the reasons is because, um, yeah, that's you get some creepy people, man. Malcolm knows all about it. Get some creepy people. Um, Look at Aaron the Beaner. Oh, well, you never get ignored, Malcolm. That is one thing. Can't believe we thought I ignored you yesterday. It's just a lot of comments yesterday. um, it's I don't think they do. I mean, and I don't think it's like. Here's the thing. Let's be fair. Um, it's easier for me to be open and to just sit here and chat with like everyone. One, I will tell you this right now. Um, what I do isn't for everybody, especially doing a live stream where I'm chatting with everybody. It gets a lot harder than you think. Trust me. I know people that said they were going to do this, and when they did, they're like, "How do you do this?" It's a thing in of itself. It's a skill. But two, um, I'm not worried about people like either like hitting on me. That's not going to be a thing, or just like not taking me seriously because of the way I look. Uh, but some people do. Massively am a big fan of a female YouTuber called Whore Hippie, right? And she has two channels. And one of the things I really like about her is that she's part of the youth, and it's really interesting to watch somebody that is experiencing this stuff for the first time. Uh, and that blows my mind because there's you get a different outlook, and you get a different you get different thoughts on things. Now she is a filmmaker. She does make short films. And I wouldn't be surprised to see her like making movies down the road. Um, but and when people say to me, "Oh, well, young people don't understand. Like they don't like older movies, or they watch older things, or they won't watch black and white stuff or stuff." Like there's so many out there. I can tell right now that I have just been lucky enough to like just to come across, and there are a few people that I've been able to like just to chat with. I haven't chatted with her. Would love to have her on the channel actually. And her and her dad. I'd like to have her and her dad on the channel because her and her dad like kind of they do stuff together, which I find really sweet. Like when you're out there and you're doing stuff and you got your dad with you, and he's a fan, a movie fan, like a older school movie fan. That's actually kind of cool. That's what I enjoy. That's what I like to see because that's what it's about. That's what I want this to be about. If you take nothing else out of this rambling ass video that I've done today, um, enjoy it. Like we're here. What's a BTO? Say we're here for a good time, not a long time, right? Um, so just like buy what you like, buy what you're gonna enjoy. Don't just buy because you've seen YouTuber XYZ buy it and say it's limited and you got to get this and you got to get this new 4K shiny edition because it's got a poster, it's got a book, and there's only 500 copies. If that's your reason for buying the film and you're collecting and you're just collecting, that's okay. Like, you know, you do you. But for most of us, you want to watch the film. So if it's got a shiny box and a hard box and a poster and a book, it's limited, and you don't like that movie, that's space taken up on your shelf that could probably fit maybe 2 or 3 movies that you really like. And that's the thing. When you're picking up stuff, let it be what you really like. Let it be what you're going to enjoy. Let it be what you want to watch. And that's what we do. Thank you for coming in today. I'm really happy and proud while you guys are coming here on a regular basis and choose to spend your time to chat with me. I always appreciate it. Well, I put up a little extra thing after this video. Well, no, you have to see. You have to wait. And what did you have to worry? That's the thing. And it's sometimes it's not like, you know, never thought about being manipulated. That's the scary part. Technology, guys. It's both fantastic, scary as hell. As always, it has been a pleasure and an honor. Malcolm doesn't know this yet, but all my pre-tapes, Malcolm, may not be up for another week or 2. So revenue is limited on the channel. Anybody wants to help with the channel, right here. You can do so with the videos live or not. Well, that's a good thing about that link. If you don't and you just want to enjoy the videos, that's okay. I really appreciate you guys coming in. But with all that being said, thank you so much. Is this video over? Maybe, maybe not. You know, I was a massive fan of Dukes Hazzard growing up. Like, I understand like the iffiness, like Dukes Hazzard, like with certain things. See, some people leave, so they never find out. But what season was it? So this is the 4th season. There's a ton. Look how thick that box set is, right? I have them all, by the way. But one season specifically I think it's might be the 5th season. So Tom Wopat and John Snyder decided that Daisy Duke, my friends, that they were going to leave the show, and he said, give us more money. That's it. We're walking. You can't make this show without us. So they walked. And that next year, they were like, by the way, the Dukes have gone off to do some racing. Here's their cousins. And they added in like two new actors to play kind of the cousins of the Dukes and kept the show going. This season had 27 freaking episodes. Who didn't have a crush on Daisy Duke, by the way? Catherine Bach. Like truly hotness personified. Look right here. I'm going to do this every once in a while. I'm going to continue a video after the end call just to see who stays. I'm marveling it, right? All right. But this time, it's for real. I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful evening. Remember, from now on, for the next little while, unfortunately, the pre-tapes are off the table for a little bit, and that's cutting down on some things. But we will be doing a lot of live streams. So if you like the live streams, you're in for a heck of a next couple of weeks or so.